Crisp. I'm Crisp. Let's ready to go. Let's do this thing. You were recording that entire time, weren't you?
I was, yes.
Fuck! Well, I guess I know where the intro's gonna be now.
Welcome to Nonstop Debate, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I get tortured from when I don't even know we're recording or anything. I'm taking a fucking swig of my Dr. Pepper.
Fine, you
Because
do
fuck
that.
you.
Take another swig of your Dr. Pepper, then.
I was singing all day.
Well, today is going to be a fun episode. Jarrett, who are we talking about today?
Oh, we're talking about the Hatsuki Miku of the entire Danganronpa trilogy, Sayaka, Maizono.
At last, my love has come along.
Oh yeah, you really had a big crush for her right in the very beginning.
I had a huge fucking crush on this chick when we started Trigger Happy Havoc. Well, when I started.
Yeah.
She is so cute. I love Sayaka. So.
You love Sayaka right off the back, but then when you realize during the trial what was going on, you're like, man, she a bad bitch too. Oh my god,
dude! When I first met her, I was like, oh my god, you're so adorable. You're gonna be my new best friend. And then she started hanging out with me a lot, and I was like, oh my god, we are becoming best friends. And then she died.
I was like, I was at that time like, whoa, we're in a death game. You're getting too comfortable with me. You're obviously gonna fucking die.
Yeah, and then I died, and then she died, and I got really, really fucking sad. But yeah, when we were going through the trial, and you find out that not only was she initially trying to murder somebody, but she was trying to frame you for it, I felt very betrayed for like a whole 5 seconds before I thought about it. I was like, damn, what a bad bitch, dude. I love her.
Now, what gave you more depression, Sayaka's death or Kaede's death?
God, don't even get me started. Probably Kaede, honestly. It's very strange how similar those two characters are.
Yeah.
They're very basically designed. They're very kind. They're very cute. You get to know a lot about them in such a short time before they both inevitably fucking die immediately.
Right.
It's very...
Speaking of this...
Go ahead.
Speaking of design, Dylan's probably going to have the character sprite from the intro in the beginning, but that's not what she looks like in-game.
Well, no, I'm planning for the video, I'm planning on having her, her character portrait of her in her pop star outfit.
Right.
That's what I was planning on happening. I was going to have her anime sprite for the thumbnail like I did for Makoto.
Right. But that's not how she looks like in-game. She actually just wears a standard sailor uniform, and it fucking blows.
Is it a sailor uniform? I thought it was a school uniform.
It's a sailor school uniform, swish. It's the exact same thing. Okay. In Japanese anime. It's like non-distinguishable at that point in time. And I'm going to shit all over her design. I'm sorry, guys. From a design standpoint, she just looks bland, boring. She's like boring. I would say one of the bottom 3 designs for me, to be honest. If she had her pop star design, be a totally different story, but as she stands where she has just the school uniform, she doesn't stick out, and I go by the rules of silhouettes. If I can't decide who you are just by your silhouette, you're probably going to be failing a little bit in the design category. Because then you have people like, in the same game, you have Celeste, and you have Yasuhiro, you got Fume, you got Mondo, you got Junko, you got all of these erratically designed characters, and then you get someone like Sayaka. Fuck, even Leon is better designed than Sayaka. Well, I have to give Sayaka a 2 out of 10.
That's not an entirely fair comparison, because to be fair, as much as I hate Leon, he is a very well-looking character. He's probably one of the best-looking characters in Trigger Happy Havoc, because he's got a lot of style to him, you know?
Yeah, and I'm going to jump ahead to the trivia. Sayaka and Leon were the templates for every single Danganronpa character to this day.
Yeah.
So the fact that it looks so good compared to Sayaka looking super bland is a very big knockdown for her. If she was like compared to like Ibuki from the second game. I'm gonna compare all the musical characters design-wise all together with same fell swoop.
There's a lot
If
of
you,
them in this series, isn't there?
yeah, there's one in every game, Dylan.
God damn.
Yeah, so if you compare Sayaka to Ibuki and Kaede, it would be like from worst to best. It would be Sayaka, Kaede, Ibuki design-wise for me. But even then, I'll be like, Sayaka's a 2 out of 10, Kaede's a 6 out of 10, Ibuki's a 8 out of 10 in design. So, but
Yeah.
that is not her design is not her strength.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. No.
I will to kind of to kind of balance out all your shitting on though. I will say that I'm probably more in favor of her design than most people probably would be, cuz I don't know. It's not that she is very stylish like Leon for example. It's more that she's just very pleasing to look at. Like her sleeves and her undershirt and her skirt all match her dark hair, and then the pink bow on her shirt really kind of like what's the word?
Contrast.
Yeah, contrast. It contrasts really well with the rest of her color scheme, and then she's got the black thigh-high socks and shoes, and you know, she's just got a very like pleasing color scheme to look at. And I think as far as design goes, that's more what it comes down to for me, is like the color scheme and how pleasing they are to look at. Like Leon, again, we keep fucking bringing him up for some reason. He kind of like fits that for me also, because red and white is a very nice color combo to me. I think that's always been a nice color combo, and Leon is very like red and white with a little bit of black to tie it all in, you know?
He has orange hair, Dylan.
Red, orange. Under the light, it's the same fucking color. Leave me alone. Yeah, no, you said what? A 2 out of 10 on her design?
Yeah.
I'll give her a 5 out of 10. I mean, she's definitely not the most stylish character in the cast of Trigger Happy, but I don't think she's awful. I don't think anyone really looks awful, honestly.
Better than fucking Hajime, that's for sure. Oh
yeah,
my God.
Hajime's kind of boring looking. He's very boring looking, actually. I think the most interesting thing about his design is his tie. And that's just because his tie's like what was the design he had on his tie? It was some kind of symbol.
I don't know. I think they had some like HC on it. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Hajime, why are you so boring, dude? Put on a cool jacket or something, dude. Get some sunglasses. I don't know.
I mean, fuck, even I don't know if I want to talk about Samugi's design, because then that's just like she's going for a certain thing there, so
that's gonna be interesting to talk about.
Yeah. We'll get to her when we get to her.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Dylan finally finished V3, and he absolutely loved the meta bending.
Fucking am such a slut for like crazy balls to the wall meta nonsense, dude. I love that shit so much, and as soon as she started getting meta, I was like, hold the fuck on. And then she kept going in like, this isn't real, we're all in a fucking game. I was like, oh my God. I lost my shit.
At 3 in the morning.
Oh my God, dude. And now that one joke, because I don't interact with the fandom at all, but there is that joke that goes around about Monokuma and Chris McClane from Total Drama Island being the same fucking person, and I always laugh at that because I'm like, haha, yeah, but now that I finished V3, I look back on that joke and it's even funnier now because that's literally what V3 was just some fucking Total Drama Island game show nonsense. Oh my God, dude, I loved it so much. God damn. Oh,
so anyway, so Sayaka, obviously, her role was obviously
she was
first murder victim.
Would you consider her just cast or an ally?
If I would have to put her in a role, I would put her like in a framer role. She was set like a deceiving rule. I didn't want to say she was an ally to Makoto, but at the same time, I don't think she was like super mean.
I would, because she was definitely helping him all throughout chapter 1. I think the real
Until the
turning
motive
point,
showed up.
yeah, the real turning point in her motivations was the motive, because that's
Right.
when it flipped and she started like manipulating
Getting
Makoto.
super dead. Yeah.
And I do want to believe that she felt bad. She's like, I really don't want to do this to you, kid, because you're really fucking nice, but I gotta get to my bandmates. You know?
I remember specifically, you were like, Makoto, why don't you just stay in the room for about 20, 30 minutes? Just get it fucking on.
Right? I'm like, Makoto, why don't you just stay in your room with her, man? I mean, it's not like, you just don't have to go sleep in her room. But of course, Makoto's a nice guy, even though he really liked her too. So.
God, he's a nice guy, but he's not one of those guys who go to r/nice guys. That would be his name.
Makoto is an r/nice guy.
No, that would be Hifume, Dylan.
Oh god, fucking no. How dare you speak to me about Hifumi? How dare you say his name in my presence?
What, so you're denying that he's an incel?
Fuck. No. I'm not denying anything. I'm just mad that you said his name. Now I'm just mad. Now I'm thinking of his big dumb face and the fucking meatballs he has for lips. Now I'm just mad.
But, yeah, and her talent was the ultimate pop star.
She is the ultimate pop sensation.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say she actually tried using she was going to use her talent, if she got away with what she did from the trial. I think she would have used her talent as being like a bigger pop sensation to probably sway everyone inside the trial room. Because that's what Kyoko deduced from the trial.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they said, that she was probably gonna pin it on Makoto, and since Makoto's a nobody and she's the ultimate pop sensation, everyone knows Sayaka. Who they're gonna believe more, Sayaka or Makoto?
Huh.
And I'm pretty sure the plan was always to switch back the plaques on the door. But of course, Sayaka's the first murder victim,
Yeah.
and she got killed.
Yup. Oh, I was so sad. Yeah, because you spend the first, I believe, couple days before the motive. Because you go through, what, like 3 days? 2 or 3 days, I think, before Monokuma slaps you with the first motive.
Yeah, she was the free time / react mechanic tutorial.
Yeah, she's basically a tutorial for free time, spending time with characters, because you can't spend time with anyone else. You're forced to spend time with Sayaka, but you know what? I'm not complaining. But, yeah, you spend time with her, you get to know her, which is good, because honestly, I think when it comes to characters like this that are going to die, like, immediately, it's good for you to get to know them even a little bit, like, whether you have a choice or not.
Leon notwithstanding.
Yeah, Leon notwithstanding, because Leon's a dumbass. I think the only real exception would be Rentaro in V3, because the whole idea of him dying immediately was part of the plot, because it was all, like, mystery and, like, oh, well, what was his role then? You know?
Well, yeah, Smoogie was like, it's all part of the plot, yeah!
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
But
Which,
yeah.
We'll get to our discussion about the V3 and its whole ending and shit debacle when we get to it.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot to say about the ending.
We have a lot of thoughts. That's going to be like a 2.5 hour long episode. I can already tell.
I was going to say 3 or 4 hours. I got shit in the front load with that stuff, man. Oh my god. But we're going to start... We're going to start simple when the game did not go absolutely batshit insane by its own standards.
Right.
So, yeah, she died.
You spend the first couple days getting to know Sayaka, and then Monokuma hits you guys with the motive. And the first motive is the videos, right?
Of their friends and family.
Yeah, friends and family getting question marked by Monokuma. And you don't get to see it right away. Oh, no, you do. You do, because she, like, freaks out and runs out of the room, and then you look at Sayaka's monitor and see what hers was, right?
Right.
Yeah, so Makoto gets...
No.
No?
The motive video is part of the evidence that you have to collect later.
Oh, right,
You see
right.
you see the motive video later.
Yeah. So, you, as Makoto, get a motive video, and it's your mother, father, and sister. And Monokuma's like, oh, you've got this family that really fucking cares for you, and they're great. And then it, like, cuts to the same couch that they were just sitting on, but it's, like, destroyed. And it's right after you get to hear Makoto's family, like, cheering him on. Like, yay, our boy got to go to Hope's Peak, oh boy. And then it just cuts to the couch all torn to shit, and they're gone. And Monokuma's like, but what happened to them? Think. And then...
Find out next time on Dragon Ball
on Danganronpa Z. Yeah. And yeah, you don't get to find it right away because you find it later in the trial after Sayaka's already dead. But her motive video was her bandmates that she performed with. Pretty much the same thing that Makoto's got. It was just, oh, these are your bandmates and they're basically your family, but they've been question marked by Monokuma. What happened to them? Find out later. Haha, if you get out, bitch. Bye.
Can I just say real quick that Sayaka losing her bandmates and then Ibuki leaving her bandmates is actually a really nice contrast.
Yeah.
For like the two like different types of like it's a good like Beatles versus Ozzy comparison where like the Beatles were like we gotta stay together at all time but then Ozzy left Black Sabbath to do his own thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how big of music you are, Dylan, but I hope you caught all that.
I don't pay attention to like a ton of the music history, but yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
It makes sense it makes sense if you know what I'm saying, but
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah. What the hell are you doing on your end?
sorry, I'm trying to find a piece of paper.
So, while he's doing that, I'll continue. So, with Sayaka losing her bandmates and everything that she's worked for, it would be like the literal death of her. Like she literally couldn't function without like knowing the safety of her bandmates. And that's what drove her to be almost completely insane, where she conducted this idea of a plan to frame Makoto for murder, but she picked the one character out of the, several people she could have framed, some of them who probably were a better chance of not fighting back.
This is my favorite thing about Sayaka, and this is where she kind of fell apart a little bit. Was it out of everyone that you could have attempted to murder? Because we should back up a little bit and go over exactly what happened, because we're talking about her death right now, so we kind of need to break down everything that led to it.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not, her death is not one of the simpler deaths where she got like, whacked in the head and dies.
Yeah, no, she got brutalized.
Right.
Her initial plan after the motive video was she kept buddying with Makoto, but from that point forward, it was out of manipulation, not out of like kinship. Because, that was the point where she made the decision. She's like, I need to get the fuck out of this school. I need to find my friends. So her initial plan was to get buddy with Makoto, and then what did she do after that? Was that the room switching, I think?
Yeah, she, in the middle of the night, she knocked on Makoto's door, and she was worried, because she said that someone was banging on her door.
Yeah, and trying to come in. So she wanted to switch rooms with Makoto so that she would feel safer. And Makoto, being the dumb, nice boy that he is, because he's a good boy, as we said before,
Well, I will call him a doormat in this scenario.
Dude, he's talking to fucking Sayaka Maizono, okay? I'd be a doormat too, and so would you. She is too
No.
cute to say no to. But,
I was more like a Togami character in high school, Dylan. You can't pin that shit on me.
yeah, I guess that's fair. So, fuck.
Once she switched rooms with Makoto, her plan was put into action where she sent a letter. Well, first of all, she switched the plaques on the doors so that it would appear that Makoto's room was actually hers. So they switched the little... Because every character in the game has their little, like, face, like, pixel face on front of the door that they're a part of.
Yeah, yeah.
So she switched with that, and then she got a letter and sent it to Leon.
Because her plan was to... She was now in Makoto's room with Makoto's key, because they traded keys also, considering. She went to the kitchen and stole a knife, which Hina attested to, because Hina and I believe Sakura were in the dining hall at the time, and they saw Sayaka go into the kitchen. Her plan was... She wrote that note, and she tried to lure Leon, of all fucking people, Leon, to Makoto's room so that she could murder Leon, and everyone would think Makoto was the culprit. Because, you know, who were they going to believe traded rooms? Who are they going to believe when someone says they traded rooms? Are they going to believe Makoto, or are they going to believe Sayaka? You know?
Right.
And I think that's probably the riskiest part of her whole plan, because what if no one believes her? Or what if people believe Makoto?
I would think, like, Kyoko would have probably believed Makoto, but Kyoko was like, I'm super detective, so...
Yeah, but she couldn't even remember what her role was, and no one really trusted her to begin with, so...
I'm pretty sure her getup says, screams detective.
Well, yeah, but it's not like the Danganronpa cast was smart enough to know that.
Fair enough, but,
So...
But, another point of contention, Makoto also had the golden katana in his room.
Yeah, because didn't he grab that, like, earlier?
For self-defense.
Yeah, for self-defense. God, I think it was it Sayaka who told him to do that, too?
Yeah.
No.
That was before the motive videos came up.
Oh, God. God damn it.
So when Sayaka sprung an attack on Leon in a panic of stupor grabbed the golden katana and used it to break her wrist, which had the knife on it.
Yeah.
And in a panic, she ran into the bathroom, and Makoto's door jams.
Yeah, it's the only bathroom door out of all the dorm rooms that jams like that. So,
but all the girls' bathrooms lock.
But the boys do not.
So Leon did not know this. So Leon thought it was the girls' bathroom. So at this point in time, we have no love or sympathy for Leon, because it went from self-defense to now you're straight up killing this bitch.
Yeah. If you guys are curious why we hate Leon, and we'll talk about Leon in the next episode, but we'll tell you right now, he's an idiot. He's just a big dumb idiot, because at this point, when Sayaka locked herself in the bathroom, with a broken wrist, and like the situation has basically been like dissolved at this point. Like, Leon could have just gone back to his room and said, fuck these people, but no, he went back to his room.
Everyone in the morning.
Yeah, but no, he went back to his room, he got a toolkit, and he came all the way back, and he spent however long it took to fucking unscrew that doorknob and break into that fucking bathroom just so that he could murder her.
Yeah.
That's not
He went the extra fucking mile, by the way, by cleaning up the entire room with a lint roller
to get all of his hair out of the scene of the crime.
Right.
That is not a guy who is like, oh, I wouldn't kill anyone. It was self-defense. Like, no, you idiot. That's not self-defense. You went all the way back to your room, and you came back just to fucking murder her. We have no sympathy for you. You're a fucking idiot.
And also, you use your fucking baseball skills to get rid of crucial evidence of blood on your shirt.
Yeah. Think about all the hassle.
Crystal ball.
Think about all the hassle you wouldn't have had to go through if you just went back to your room and locked yourself in. You didn't have to go back and murder Sayaka, but you did. You fucking idiot.
I like to quote Mondo on this. That at that point in time, it was no longer self-defense. You were out to murder that bitch.
God.
So yeah, that's how Sayaka dies. But before she died, with her dying breath, she was able to write Leon's name upside down. Which, can I say there's a joke? A joke comic in the fandom where if, like, Sayaka got away with it, but Leon is the bathroom, he wrote upside down the word thought, and then Kyoko was like, Sayaka, you have any idea what this means?
That's amazing.
Right. I mean, like, if she wanted to kill someone, this is the point where I'm like, Sayaka did, like, a big goof. If she wanted to kill someone, why not try targeting someone like Yasuhiro or Hifume? Hell, I'm pretty sure she could probably take on Taka. Maybe not Taka. Maybe not Taka.
Yeah, no, I think we both agreed that the one person she should have attempted to murder was Hiro.
Right.
Because, like, what the fuck was Hiro gonna do to defend himself?
Hiro was in the demo, and he died in the demo, so then we're not gonna do that shit again.
Well, yeah. What a fucking twist would that be, where it's like Leon's the killer in either side, where it's either Sayaka or Hiro? So what if you make Hiro the first murder victim, but Sayaka's the killer, and then she ends up getting executed?
Well, yeah, there's an unused execution that hints directly to that villain, so... Yeah.
Plus, then, if that was the case, then we'd have to go through the game with more Leon. And, you know, that's just a lose-lose. So.
But just because you don't like Soda doesn't mean he's a bad character, Dylan.
I didn't say Soda, I said Leon, but yeah, fuck Soda too, dude. God.
No, I think Leon. I actually was able to hang out with Leon, but I'm not going to count that. I'll be like, so there, I had a different perspective because I hanged out with Sayaka and Leon. Right. So when I first played it, I thought I was like, oh, is the first person who I hang out with is going to die? Then I was like, wait a minute, no, that would be way too complicated.
It was like me where I fell in love with Sayaka and then she was gone.
Yeah.
You were like, damn, this fucking chick is cool. Damn, this Leon dude's cool. And then they're both gone and you're just like, well.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was like, hey, I was like, hey, Leon looks like a cool dude. He looks like a dude, bro, and he's pretty much is a dude, bro, in his support conversations, but we don't get to see that in canon, so
yeah,
shit out of luck. So we had to go judge him on the content of his character, and with him yelling stupid, 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 stupid all over the time.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of character happening there, let me tell you. Speaking of character, Sayaka is one of my favorites. And character in terms of, like, personality, I mean, because her fucking personality is so great. Maybe I'm biased because I just love everything about Sayaka, honestly. I love her character. I love her design. I love her sprites. I love her personality. Like, her... God, a lot of her personality, she's kind of like Makoto, because, you know, she wasn't going to be around for a whole long time, but she, just like Makoto, she's very basic, she's just very nice, you know, she's very passive, she's very nice.
She's basic bitch waifu, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Simple but effective.
Some of my favorite characters are basic bitch waifus, but it gets the job done because that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to tug on on everyone's heartstrings before they died.
Yeah.
Because after that, you just kind of like, well, damn, who's gonna be waifu now? Maybe Junko over here. Oh no, she's dead too. More on that later, but
But the definite highlight of Sayaka's personality is her fucking psychic joke that she makes. Because goddamn, dude, her fucking intuition is off the charts, and it does say here in the fucking it does say here in the wiki that when you are doing the school mode ending and talking to Sayaka, Makoto has flashes from the main story involving him and Sayaka, and she also says that she remembers those events, and that implies that Sayaka really does have a limited amount of psychic ability.
So wait, does that make her a better clairvoyant than Hiro?
Dude, I don't even feel like Hiro has visions or is psychic. I feel like he just makes guesses and he's right some of the time.
I mean, if you get the bad ending in the game,
If you get the bad ending, he is correct about that, yes. But
yeah.
we don't talk about the bad ending.
Bad ending is not canon, so...
It's just kind of funny. It's there to fucking, what's the word? Boost Hiro's ego, I guess.
And throw the player for a loop.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, you know, Makoto gets to get it on with Hina, so I mean, that's not all bad.
Can't confirm get it on with Hina, yeah, pretty much.
So, God.
Fair enough,
But yeah, her fucking psychic joke, I mentioned it in the Makoto episode, but her fucking intuition was catching me and Makoto off guard, like, every time. Because it's like, it's not just the thing where it's like, she's like, oh, I can tell what people are thinking, but a lot of the time it's like, not that obvious what people are thinking. Like,
right.
A lot of the time, she was just, like, directly answering, like,
questions.
Like, she was directly answering, like, Makoto's, like, inner dialogue.
Right.
Like, Makoto would just, like, the text would turn blue to indicate that Makoto's, like, thinking to himself, right? He's just like, huh, I wonder how this could have happened. And Sayaka's like, yeah, I wonder how that could have happened too. And then you're like, huh? And you, like, turn and Sayaka's right there and she's like, it's weird, huh? And you're like, what the? You knew what I was thinking? She's like, huh, yeah, I'm psychic, remember? And you're like, what? And I'm like, what? And she's like, no, I'm just kidding.
And the fact that the character voice actress herself actually says, I told you I'm psychic in game, actually helps a lot too.
Yeah, she's got an actual voice line where she says, yeah, I'm psychic. Yeah. It's so great, dude. And like every single time she did it, like I think the very first time she did it, that's exactly what she did. She like directly answered something Makoto was thinking to himself. And both me and Makoto were like, whoa, holy shit, how did she do that? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm psychic. And I was like, yo, is she also psychic on top of being a pop sensation? Dude, double wife material. And then she's like, no, I'm just kidding. I have really good intuition. And I'm like, oh fuck, that's some hella fucking intuition you got there, girl, goddamn. And then she does that. She does that to you like 3 more times before she dies. And then after she dies, you know, obviously she's dead. She can't make the joke anymore. And you go through the whole investigation and the trial without, you know, you kind of forget that was a joke. It's one of the things that you start missing about her. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna miss her little psychic joke now that she's gone. And then at the end of the fucking chapter, Makoto fucking does that to Kyoko.
Right.
And she's like, whoa, how'd you know that? And Makoto's like, oh, 'cause I'm psychic. And then that's the fade to black. That's the end of the first chapter. Dude,
what a good send-off to a character.
It is a great send-off, dude. It's so good.
It sucks for all the early game kills that her Sayaka's voice actress kind of got shafted from that. But don't worry, she gets to redeem herself in V3 in the form of Tsumugi. So.
Oh boy, we love Tsumugi.
Oh yeah.
Tsumugi is so great.
Sayaka's Chillin's blue hair waifu. Tsumugi's my blue hair waifu. Let me tell you.
Oh, I don't know, man. I'd be down for some Tsumugi too.
Nope. No, fuck you. You get Kaede. Shut the fuck up.
All right, you know what? You can have Tsumugi if it means I get Kaede and Sayaka. That's fine. I can live with that.
That's fine. It's Tsumugi and Shiaki. Imagine being real. This post was made by the V3 gang. This post was made by the not real gang, Yaki and Samugi.
God.
But yeah, that's like the from her standpoint. Yeah, if you ask me about her, like the personality, I'm like, I saw her death flag coming a mile away. So for me, I didn't really get too attached to her compared to Dylan, because he ate that shit up, and I was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, you don't see the death flags, man.
I think
she's totally going to fucking die.
I think deep down I knew that she was probably gonna die, and I was gonna be very sad. I didn't know exactly when, but I was like, oh, I'm getting so attached to you right now. You're probably gonna fucking die, and I'm gonna be depressed. Like, I knew it deep down, but I didn't want to, like, listen to it because I was having too much fun talking to her and listening to her stupid psychic joke for, like, the 4th time.
Yeah. Welcome to Danganronpa, Dylan. Your waifu is dead.
But yeah, like, everything got set up, and then, like I said in the last episode, as soon as you set foot in the dining hall and she's not there, and you're like, oh, I gotta go back to my room and check on her, that was the moment I knew. I was like, oh, she's gonna be dead when I get there, isn't she? Fuck, I was so sad. So
right, and this is the one and only trial where everyone, if you get a game over and everyone blames you for being the black end, is the only trial that makes sense. Every other trial afterwards does not make fucking sense.
Yeah, I always thought that was dumb. If you game over in a trial, everyone just turns on you and they're like, oh, we're voting Makoto as the black end, and you're like, the fuck? Because, like, it's like you're never the suspect after the first case. Everyone's always looking at someone else.
Right.
So it's like, why do you turn on me? Like, I guess it would make sense for... I mean, I guess that's what they have to do for, like, a game over perspective, but it just, like, in terms of the story, it doesn't make sense.
Why can't it just be like, well, no one's listening to me, and then Monokuma calls for voting time, and then I'm like, well, sorry, you guys all voted wrong, and then that would be the game over right there.
Yeah, I think that would be better. I was almost, because when you told me what happens when you game over, I was like, oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, Dylan never gets game over. Didn't get a single game over in the first game. Yeah. And he only got one game over in the second game because he fell for fake Kodo. So
yeah, I so desperately wanted to see my boy Makoto again that as soon as fake Kodo showed up, he was like, yeah, why don't you just, why don't you come over here? And I'm like, oh, all right, bro, let's do it. And I hit yes, and then I game over, and I was like, oh, I got played.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
You fool, you fell for one of the classic blunders. God.
With that tangent, I think it's a good time for Ego Theater, don't you think?
Yeah. What would you give Sayaka personality?
Because my inner anime man's like sit there. I'm like, yeah, basic bitch waifu. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. But my personal taste and preferences is like I like cute girls like that. So I'm gonna meet in the middle. I'm gonna do a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm about there with you. Maybe I'm a little biased, of course. I'm gonna give her a 7 out of 10, just because the entire first chapter of Trigger Happy Havoc, I think, is some of the best Danganronpa that you will get out of the entire series. It's a great introduction.
Not the best.
It's not the best, but it's up there for sure.
There are 2 more moments in Danganronpa that outshine the opening of Danganronpa.
Yeah, there's a definite moment in fucking Danganronpa 2 that outshines everything. fucking
Case 2-5 outshines everything.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give her a 7 because I think she's like, yeah, she's not the greatest character. She's not the most like full of personality, but for your like tutorial friend and first murder victim, for like, she's really like the center of the first chapter in Trigger Happy Havoc, and for being that center for the very beginning, like being the introduction to Danganronpa, I think she is a great character for it, and I think she was done very well.
The very first chapter in Danganronpa is what I would consider our writing terms. It's an excellent way of introducing a person to a horror mystery setting, murder mystery setting for first time comers, because murder is easy to solve. The characters are all wacky because you get all the introductions out of the way.
Yeah.
And then you get to spend time with Sayaka. You get to learn all the ropes. And then once you beat the first chapter, you got everything you need to know, and you can beat every other case just like that.
Yep.
And every case afterwards is different, because they're trust me, this is the only case where they're gonna give you a hand me out.
Yeah. The fucking numbers on the wall.
Yeah. That's your one and only freebie for the entire game.
It's the one and only time
series.
in the entire series where the game is like, hey, you want to know who the killer is before we actually get to that point? Here you go.
Yeah. It's the one and only freebie.
Every other case, if you can't figure it out on your own, you're not going to figure it out until everyone else does. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Great personality. Decent design.
Right.
That's about all we got on that so far. We're gonna break for Ego Theater, and Jer says he's got something real special planned for that, so that should be fun. And
you're gonna hate this, Dylan.
Oh, I'm probably going to, yeah. And when we get back, we're gonna talk about how well she was written as a character, which I think we already dipped our toes into a little bit, but we can go a little more in depth on that when we get back. So.
Right. We can stop gushing and we can actually start critiquing.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see you guys in a minute.
All right.
And now it's time for Ego Theater.
So, y'all ever had a deep fried pickle?
A deep fried pickle?
Yeah, man. That shit is fucking good, dude.
Why are we talking about deep fried pickles?
Because you still need to try a deep fried pickle, Dylan.
I'm not gonna try your deep fried pickle, Jared.
Yeah, you do. They're fucking amazing. They're crunchy and it's tang. And it's amazing.
But it's also a pickle that's been put into the deep fryer.
But it's so good, though!
It's
like the same reason why you don't try a peanut butter pickle, Dylan. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why the fuck would I want to try a peanut butter pickle? That sounds even more disgusting.
It's called the poor man's sweets, Dylan.
There's nothing sweet about a peanut butter covered pickle.
It's a pickle with a bunch of protein on it.
It's a pickle.
Man the fuck up.
It's a pickle.
And it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Man the fuck up.
Let's see, what is that, 27 seconds? Alright, we made it pretty far talking about pickles before someone made a Pickle Rick joke. My money was on like 10 seconds before someone made a Pickle Rick joke, and I tried to make a couple, but they didn't make it, so I mean... 26 seconds, that's not bad.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm serious. If y'all are listening to, if anyone's offered deep fried pickles, go for that shit, man. You will not regret it. Don't be a baby back bitch like Dylan over here. Get an actual deep fried pickle. They're fucking amazing. This has been your PSA announcement for deep fried pickles.
This has been Major Ego telling the kids at home to take the biggest pickle you can find and dip it in a jar of peanut butter. Is that how you would do it? Would you just take a pickle and dip it in a jar of peanut butter?
Actually, I would personally use a butter knife with kosher spears.
Okay, that's still gross. I can't. Just I'm picturing it. Okay, look, I was really picky as a kid. Okay, I was. I'm still pretty picky, but I will not even give a hint of like humor to the thought of trying a peanut butter covered pickle. That just sounds fucking disgusting. I'm sorry.
Sounds like you're just a bitch, though.
I don't know, man. I don't think I'm alone.
It sounds disgusting on paper, but just try it.
Dude, if it comes back and all like 4 of our people who watch our videos regularly say that you're fucking disgusting, I'm just gonna point and laugh at you.
Y'all don't know what you're missing.
God. Peanut butter covered pickles. What was the other one you said?
Deep fried pickle.
Yeah, that's what we started with. God, gross. Same with like deep fried Twinkies. Maybe I'll get crucified for that because I know people like that, but deep fried Twinkies, like, gross. How can you eat that?
I need to take you to Uncle Freddy's or fucking Humphrey's. We gotta get some deep fried pickles, man.
Like, fuck, man. I like deep fried shit. I like fucking like chicken tendies. I'm a fucking kid. I won't lie. When I go to a restaurant, I always get their chicken tendies because if you can make a good chicken tendy, you can make good anything. That's not true.
Right.
But if you have good chicken tendies, it's a good start at least. But but fucking yeah, man. I eat chicken tendies a lot. I'm a fucking kid. I don't care. I like deep fried shit. But there are certain things that when you're like, oh yeah, I deep fried this, I'm like, okay, but why? Why would you deep fry that?
You're the type of person who would probably be like, deep fried shrimp, ugh.
Well, no, shrimp sounds like something that you would put in a deep fryer. I'm talking about like sweet things. If it's a salty food or a meat of some kind like chicken or fish, I could see that getting deep fried. But if it's like a Twinkie or like a chocolate bar, it's like, why would you deep fry that? That just sounds like trying to get a heart attack with extra steps. Like, why?
Dylan's uncultured. He's never tried a deep fried Twinkie.
You know, I guess I am fucking uncultured. Whatever. Fuck you.
This has been Major Ego, and this has been your deep frying pickle lesson for the entire evening.
Close the curtains. Close the curtains. The Seco Theater's over. Go back to the regular show.
And we're back from that public service announcement.
If you want to call it that. Trying to
to
tell people to eat more unhealthy than they do already. This is America, Jared. Don't you know that people eat unhealthy all the time?
Yeah, but we gotta do it with some extra tang to it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well,
I already said my piece, so.
Okay. And all right. Well, let's pick back up on Sayaka.
So this is the part of the time where we start critiquing the characters from an actual writing standpoint, because we were just in the first part we were just gushing all over Sayaka, but now we got to get serious right now. We got to actually talk about how.
Yeah, the critique side has to come out, which honestly, I think we touched on her character as far as like how well she was written a little bit already. I think the weakest part about her character is her design, and it's just that it's kind of basic, like Makoto. Because honestly, everything else about her is pretty good.
Yeah, the main draw from her, from a writing standpoint, was the twist that was she's the one who set up the entire murder for the first game.
I think that's also that, along with her personality.
Right.
And her like place in the first chapter and how important she is. Yeah, I would say that twist is definitely another big strength to her as a character. Because without that adds a whole nother layer of like, oh fuck, to everything you thought you knew about her already. And it's another like gentle reminder that even if you get attached to these characters, you got to remember that you don't know them. You know?
Right.
Like even if you like get all their support conversations and you get to know them a little bit, like you still don't know them. And they will constantly remind you that. They will constantly make sure that you remember that as you go through the series. There are so many characters in all three Danganronpa games that just turn a complete fucking 180 out of nowhere, and you're like, oh shit, I thought I knew them, but I don't.
Put into perspective, you can max rank Komaeda by chapter 4.
Yeah.
In the second game. And this is a chapter before he starts doing his crazy shit.
I think Komaeda's an exception because you realize like right off the bat, you're like, oh, you're kind of fucking crazy. All right, well, At least I know what to expect from you, I guess. And then every time he does some crazy shit, you're like, yep, that's Komaeda.
That's our Nagito over there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's in line with something he would do. Yep.
Yep. It's like that picture with the comic between the difference between like Makoto, like, we have to believe in hope. Everyone's got to believe in hope, and everyone's like, yeah. And then like it goes to Nagito, and Nagito's, we gotta believe in hope. You all just gotta believe in hope, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
no,
everyone's
no.
like turning away in disgust.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
yeah, as far as written character goes, she's pretty strong, actually, considering.
she's the strongest of the first two victims
Yeah.
of the entire game. Credit where credit's due when we talk about Leon. Leon does have something that is very important that I like to discuss. As I still stand to my guns to this day. Leon still has probably one of the best executions in the series.
Oh yeah, his execution is very strong. That's kind of where he's strongest. Where Sayaka is strongest for being the first victim and what that does to everyone moving forward. Leon's execution does like the exact same thing, but from the other end. Because Sayaka's death is more like hopeful. It's like, oh well, you know, she wanted to get out of here because like her motives are justified, and you understand, even though it's kind of fucked up. But it's like you're all in a fucked up situation, so you have to kind of understand like she was desperate. And you know, like moving forward, like Makoto especially, I think Sayaka was the first like stepping stone into Makoto becoming the good boy that he becomes at the end of the game.
Right.
Because she had a big impact on Makoto, and likewise, like we said with Makoto being the whole like vessel for you to experience everything through, you know, they make you spend a lot of time with Sayaka before she's gone, so that when she is gone, not only do you feel sad that she's gone, you're like, fuck, she's like the only friend I really had here. And then she's gone. And then you go through the trial and find out that not only is she now dead, but she tried to fucking frame you for an attempted murder. You're like, shit, man. Like, it throws everything into fucking, like, chaos around you. You're like, fuck, how am I supposed to feel about that? You know?
Who am I going to trust? Well, obviously Taka. Taka could do no wrong.
Yeah.
Ultimate moral compass.
Fucking Taka. But yeah, like, her death is very, like, it's very impactful in the way that it's like, we're all in a fucked up situation and we need to keep it together. Whereas Leon, when he dies and he gets executed, is like, that's like a good introduction into like...
That's the grim reality of the situation.
Yeah,
you're actually in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Sayaka's murder is a good, like, here's what to expect as far as, like, murders go in this game, and you're like, oh, shit. And then Leon's execution is like, here's a good idea of what to expect as far as executions go, and you're like, oh, shit. You know?
And it helps. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about, like, the execution, because impact of the series, but for, like, a little break tape, it helps that Leon's execution was so simple and it's like so grounded that you can believe that could happen to someone, where someone could rig up a machine to fire 1,000 baseballs to some. So remember, these guys are still kids by technicality. These are all kids getting killed.
Teenagers, yeah. High schoolers.
Teenagers, yeah. High schoolers, yeah. So yeah, these guys are not like fully developed adults. These are still like high schoolers getting murdered for the sake of, well, for Monokuma, it's for, like, despair, hope and despair. For Junko's for shits and kicks, but we don't talk about that. But,
Yeah.
But Sayaka, her death left impact for Makoto just a lot.
I think it was more Makoto than it was anyone else, honestly, because no one else really spent any time with her.
Yeah. She wasn't like fucking Kaede. Kaede impacted every
Kaede spoke to everyone before she was gone.
Right.
So.
And it helped that But but Sayaka was mainly just like, I'm gonna hang out with Makoto a lot in times, because it helps that with Sayaka and Makoto being like in the same middle school.
Yeah.
Before like Sayaka got like transferred out.
Yeah,
to, like,
they
Pop
went to the
Star
same middle school, and Makoto always wanted to like hang out with her, but he didn't because she was like super popular, and he's like, well, I'm not a popular kid, you know, I can't talk to her. But she always wanted to talk to him too, but she never could because she was always like so busy being like ultimate pop star, you know.
Right.
So yeah, and then they
Cool.
reconnect in high school, and they become really good friends, if not love interests. And then when the killing game happens, they reconnect again, and
Right.
same story, but then Sayaka fucking dies. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
So
But she was ironically a good stepping stone for the path to hope.
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how well you can write certain characters without actually having to give them a whole lot of character, you know?
Right.
Because as far as, like...
Well, fuck, look at Rentaro. Shit.
Jesus. I think she was written very well for what she was supposed to be. Because she wasn't supposed to just be a castmate. She wasn't supposed to just be an ally, even though she was kind of both. She was supposed to be the tutorial, basically. She introduces you to a lot of the things in the game. She introduces you to the murder. Like I said already, the whole first chapter, you don't even realize it until looking back. The whole first chapter is centered around her specifically.
Right.
She is very important because she was going to be your first for like everything in this game. Like obviously if you play 2 and 3 you already know what to expect because you've already played 1, unless you're playing them out of order like some kind of fucking sociopath. But yeah, she fucking, you know, she's gonna be your first for like everything the series has to offer. She's your first friend, she's the first murder victim, she's the first
Waifu crush?
Yeah, she's your first waifu.
Yeah. Let's be frank here. There's a lot of good girls in this series,
Yeah.
man.
There's a
of
lot,
good
yeah.
chicks.
Yeah, she is very important as far as her role goes of being this, like, introduction to what Danganronpa is. And Leon, I think, is on this pedestal next to her because obviously she wouldn't work as well if not for Leon, and Leon vice versa.
Leon was a great throwaway.
Yeah, that's basically what these two are. Is they're just great throwaway characters because that's what they were supposed to be. But you have to give them a lot of meaning if you want them to be that kind of throwaway. Otherwise, they're just, you know, what's the point?
Right? Yeah. Like compare and contrast. Sayaka was always like the very like first person, like super friendly towards you. Leon was the very first hostile person to you.
Yeah.
In the trials.
In the trial.
Yeah. Because if I was say in story mode, it was probably Togami, but and then Mondo, but then but they were kind of like.
We can't forget Mondo, who fucking one punch fucking Makoto out.
But I think it was more like I think that was more of a setup to Mondo losing his temper for the second case.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
So
Mondo, man, that was. But if you want to see a legit accident would be Mondo. But
yeah, we'll get to him in a little while. I think he's like 3 episodes away.
Well, because we got to talk about Leon, Togami.
Yeah, we're gonna do Leon next, and then Togami after that, because he's the rival, and he's a big part of the second case also. And then Chihiri. And then Mondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, written character. I think Sayaka's pretty strong. She's got a fun personality. She's fun to talk to, and her importance as far as like the story and the plot goes is very important and very well done. It's part of the reason Chapter 1 of Trigger Happy Havoc is like my favorite fucking Danganronpa case.
It is very memorable.
It's very strong.
Very memorable for all the right reasons. Not like the wrong reasons, like in in case 2 of the second game or case 3 in the third game.
Yeah, it's just got a lot of. It hits all the right notes. and it's just very strong, and it leaves you feeling good, you know?
Right.
Like, you lose Sayaka and you lose Leon, but at the end of it, when Makoto kind of calls back to her psychic joke, it kind of fills you with that sense of, like, no, we're gonna get through this, you know? We're gonna pick our heads up and we're gonna move forward. And it's a great note to end on. There's really nothing I can think of. I'm trying to remember every little detail of chapter 1 and the trial and everything. There's nothing that I can fucking pull that is even remotely negative about chapter 1. And the reason that it is so strong...
Wait, can I talk about a tangent of the start of the chapter 1 trial with Taka?
Okay.
All right, everyone. If you're the killer, everyone close your eyes. And if you're the killer, raise your hand.
He does do that, doesn't he?
Yeah. This is why I love Taka, man.
Taka is Trigger Happy Havoc's version of Ibuki.
Yeah.
He's just that fun. He's just that fun, quirky, random guy that you're just like, oh, Taka, I love you, but shut the fuck up, please. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and they both die by case 3.
Oh. Now I'm sad again.
First ones to die in those cases too.
Yeah. God. All right. Well, we talked about her impact already too, because her impact already kind of fucking blends in with how she was written. Because,
right.
Like I was saying, chapter 1 is one of the strongest and best cases in the whole series, and it honestly would not be as good as it is if not for how well Sayaka was written.
Right. I like to consider like all the chapters like certain characters steal the show in the chapters.
Yeah.
Like for example, for the first game, the first chapter is definitely the Sayaka show.
Yeah.
The second chapter, it's the Mondo Taco.
It's it's exactly what it is.
He freaking said I had no balls.
He freaking said I had no balls.
And second chapter, it was definitely the Celeste show. I mean the third chapter, but the fourth chapter was the traitor reveal that it was Sakura.
Yeah.
And that was drama off the ass. And then the fifth chapter is usually when everyone bands together from the first game. So.
Yep. And it's like that in all the games. Certain characters steal the spotlight in specific chapters, and it's usually because those characters are going to be involved with the trial in some way. Unless you're fucking Kokichi in V3 and you're just in like a small part in every trial up until the final fucking case that he's in where he's like actually part of the fucking trial. Because it was like every case leading up to that, Kokichi just had like one minute little detail to add in to your fucking truth bullets. Like I know in case 3, his only real like thing was that he could pick the lock of the art lab. Yeah, he could pick the lock of the art lab, and then he had another truth bullet where he fell through the fucking floor because of the board. And that was it. And it was like that with every other case.
I'm gonna love talking about Seesaw Man, but I'm gonna hate talking about the trial.
I'm gonna hate talking about Seesaw Man, dude. Fuck Seesaw Man. He's so stupid. God.
I think the only trial Kokichi wasn't a part of was the very first trial in D3.
Yeah. He was still kind of feeling everything out around that time though.
Right.
So.
Then after that, he just takes the fuck off.
Yeah. Fucking like a goddamn firework, dude. He's from the ground to the sky in less than 2 seconds, and then before you're even ready, he's already exploded into 18 different colors, and you're like, Jesus Christ, slow down. God. Alright, well, since we've already discussed her impact, we can move on to trivia. And just like with the Makoto episode, I'm getting all of this off of the wiki, and I have not read any of it until I'm going to be reading it now. So, again, maybe you knew all this, maybe you didn't. Either way.
Well, like I already said, I knew about the trivia about like Leon and Sayaka being the base model designs for every character in Danganronpa series.
Yeah, I knew about that too because you told me, and I meant like the listeners. Like, there's you know, I figure if they're listening to the podcast, maybe they're diehard fucking Danganronpa fans. I don't think we've really got any, like, not Danganronpa fans listening to this shit, so.
The Ultra Despair Girl fan base is gonna hate us, though.
Yeah, probably, but we're not really going to cover that game, and we're only talking about Toko in the context of Trigger Happy Havoc, so.
Who?
What?
Exactly.
I love that joke. Alright, so, bullet point number 1. Sayaka says in her free time events, in response to Makoto's answer, Crane, that she's the crane he rescued at that time during middle school and that she wants to weave clothes for him. This is actually a reference to a popular Japanese folk tale. I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry. Suru no Ongaishi? I think?
We're not professional moon speakers.
I do not know how to fucking speak Japanese or pronounce a lot of fucking words, so I'm very sorry. The English name is The Crane's Return of Favor, which I probably could have just said, but, you know, I guess I like to embarrass myself.
I spent most of the fucking Ego Theater talking about peanut butter pickles, so
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm pretty sure you're good.
We're both a couple of masochists, I guess. We enjoy our
Dude,
own
I let
suffering.
somebody step on me.
In the story, The Crane's Return of Favor, a crane which was saved by a man disguised itself as a woman and devoted herself to help him make a living by weaving beautiful fabric for him to sell. However, once the man realized that it was the crane who sustained him, she was already gone. The story is somewhat similar to Chapter 1, where Makoto learns only during the class trial that in her dying moments, Sayaka used whatever power she had left to clear him of suspicion. Yeah, that was another detail we kind of forgot to mention, too, is that if Sayaka didn't write Leon's name on the wall, Makoto definitely would have got fucking nailed for that case.
Right.
So.
I would think the only saving grace Makoto would have would be the door situation.
Yeah.
And then after that. But then after that, you'd be like, well, my toolkit's not open, so let's just look at the people's toolkits who are open.
Yeah. In the original game, Sayaka is the one who discovers that the kitchen is restocked daily by Monokuma. However, in the anime adaptation, it was changed to Chihiro. So,
Okay.
A younger sister of Sayaka's was planned to be introduced as part of the Warriors of Hope's hit list in Danganronpa Another Episode. This idea, however, was scrapped once the game's devs realized that Sayaka having siblings would be inconsistent with her backstory mentioned in the original game.
Right, because she was always about her friends and
It was her band because she I can't remember, she either didn't have really any living relatives left or family, or she just wasn't close to her family in any way.
Right.
Because her band was her family, and that's who she cared about.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sayaka's English voice actress, Dorothy Elias Fawn, also voices Chihiro and Alter Ego, as well as Tsumugi Shirogane in Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
I knew about Tsumugi. I actually did not know that it was the same voice actor for Chihiro.
Yeah, that's I did not know that because if you're going through V3, there's a point where Tsumugi changes from Sayaka back to Tsumugi, and it's really like telling that like, oh, it's the same voice actress.
Yeah. In a series of tweets from Kazutaka Kodaka, I'm assuming one of the devs.
Main writer.
During Valentine's Day of February 2013, he tweeted, in character, in character, as several of the Danganronpa cast, including Sayaka. The tweet translates into this: I brought cookies. They're handmade. Did I make any for anyone else? Of course not you. That was a silly thing to ask. That's fun. And her final bullet point, this looks good. I see Crypto the Necrodancer here. Sayaka appears in Crypto the Necrodancer as a skin for Dove, a character who is incapable of attacking enemies directly. That's ironic, considering that she attempted to murder a fucking classmate.
With a knife.
I mean, technically,
The most close quarter of weapons.
I mean, Leon is the first murderer. He's the first blackened in the series, but technically Sayaka was the first attempted blackened. Leon was just minding his own business until she tried to kill him, and then he was like, nah, you know what? Fuck this bitch. I'm gonna kill her myself. Fucking
Square the fuck up, thought.
Square up. My headcanon is that when she fucking tried to attack him and he fucking broke her wrist with that sword, he's like, square up, thought, and then he like puffed his stupid chest out before she ran into the bathroom.
I mean, the rooms are soundproof.
Yeah. So it's not like anyone would have heard him scream square up, thought.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the dead can't speak, so.
Yeah, unfortunate. God. Oh. Well, that was all the trivia that they had on here.
Right.
So, yeah, not a whole lot of trivia to her, but you know what? That's all right. But yeah, that's Sayaka Maizono.
It's actually shorter than this is shorter than Makoto's video.
Yeah, a little bit. We had a lot more to talk about with Makoto though, because he's a pro tag.
Yeah, and he's relevant to all the cases. I'm pretty sure as we get further and further into the game, the longer the people survive, the more we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Especially someone like Togami, Kyoko, Hiro, Hina, all those guys.
With Leon, I'm wondering if his episode after this is going to be even shorter than Sayaka's, because there's only so much we could talk about with Sayaka, but like, fuck, man, what are we going to talk about Leon?
I think we can talk about how he was like, he led to his own demise.
Yeah.
He was the one who, he pointed out that the plaques were swapped.
He did do that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Big fucking idiot. God. Fucking Leon, dude. Alright, well, let's move into closing arguments. Jared, what are your final thoughts on Sayaka Maizono?
Good throwaway, good character. She's probably the second best of the first three people who die, between Kaede and Fat Gami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it to her. She's pretty great.
Right.
She's
serviceable and solid indeed.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. Again, I'm probably biased because I adore Sayaka, but yeah, I think she's really solid. So
we'll get to the characters that I'm really biased about. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, she's very simple and solid. She's very fitting to be Makoto's first love interest. She's just kind of there. She made a good impression, and then she was gone. She left a very strong impact on her way out, and she's a great introduction to the world of Danganronpa.
To quote Blade Runner for a minute, all those moments will be like lost in time, like tears in the rain.
God. All right. Well, what are you rating Miss Sayaka Maizono, Jer? And let's before you do, let's actually what's the word? Fucking
reiterate.
Yeah, let's reiterate our rating system. Our rating system, because Jer fucking insists, is from -10 to +10, and
on a bell curve based on Jello Apocalypse, every whatever rated at 10 words or less.
Yeah.
If that's all, just because we give something a negative score doesn't mean it's bad. It means it's the ironic enjoyment for it.
So
if it's like
negative 10,
0,
for context of the scale, -10 is like Tommy Wiseau's The Room, and then +10 is like Avengers Endgame,
and Spirited
Away. Yeah, that's probably a more well-known example to a Danganronpa crowd. I was just trying to think of something that like is universally loved, and that was the first thing that came to mind.
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said. So.
I give it Endgame a 10 out of 10. Fuck hell.
Yeah. So if we rate something like a 1 or a -1 or a 0, then that's the realm of it just being outright bad.
if we give someone like a -8 or a -9, that means they're funny as fuck to
Yeah,
us.
it means that like maybe not everyone liked them, but we liked them. Like
They're funny to me.
I think Miyu, Iruma in V3, I'd give her like a -7 or a -8 because I know everybody fucking hates her, but she just made me laugh, dude. I fucking loved her. She was fun.
I give her a -4. I am not for those pervy characters, my guy.
Well,
But,
I'm not normally one for pervy characters either, and I wasn't super fond of her when V3 started, but it was around like it was like halfway through the second or third case where I started warming up to her, and then everything she said just started
You
being
mean
hilarious.
after she molested Kibo, you sick
Oh
fuck?
god, it wasn't after then? I think it was. Yeah, dude, it just hit a point where everything she said just made me laugh, and I started warming up to her a lot. So, oh god, I don't mind.
But,
I don't mind talking about her a little bit because fuck it, it's gonna be a long ways off before we get to her. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So on the scale of rating, I give Sayaka a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at too. A 7 out of 10. I think it's a point up from what we gave Makoto. I honestly don't remember what score we gave Makoto because I forgot to write it down.
6 out of 10.
Was it 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I watched the podcast like 5 times, Dylan.
Alright. Is that what I gave him too? Was a 6 out of 10?
Yeah, you gave him a 6.5 out of 10.
Ah. 0.5. Okay. And then Sayaka's
I'm
a
good at
7
numbers.
out of 10. Hey, I'm very good at numbers, okay? Fuck you.
I'm very bad at names. I used to. Who did I always call? Who's the thunder cunt in the second game that I hate?
Oh, Hiyoko?
Yes, her. Fuck that chick. But
It's either no, yeah, it is Hiyoko. My brain was saying, what if it's Himiko? But no, Himiko is a little mage girl from V3.
yeah, I don't like. I don't mind Himiko, but no, fuck Hiyoko.
Himiko's fine.
Yeah.
She's another
But,
one of those characters that I was kind of surprised made it to the end, honestly.
Right.
But whatever.
You're a lolly character. You're supposed to be dead. But yeah. So Sayaka, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. It's pretty solid.
Right.
I think it's kind of funny that we gave her a higher rating than we gave Makoto.
Well,
To be fair, though, like
she-
we said, she's got a very strong
gonna-
impact.
Well, compared to, well, if you talk about Sayaka, we're gonna have to talk about Leon. We're gonna shit on Leon.
Yeah,
We are gonna be ruthless.
I
to
don't
this
know
poor
what
boy.
I don't know what rating we're gonna give Leon yet, but we'll save that for the next episode. So if you're
Right.
again, if you're a Leon fan, why?
Just tell us why.
Why?
Tell me why ain't nothing but
Like again, I can praise his design. I think he looks very cool. But like outside of his look, I can't tell you any other reason why I would be interested in Leon. I can't even give him credit for being the first Blackened because he's just a fucking stupid boy. He's just a big old dumb.
stupid, 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 stupid.
God. Alright, well, so yeah, next episode will be Leon, and that'll probably be next week, because I guess we've decided we're doing these weekly instead of bi-weekly, so that should be fun.
Yeah. Considering these do not take long to render, so
Yeah, not really. It's just a little bit of extra recording and nonsense on my end, but other than that, they're not that
Yeah.
hard to put together, so.
Mhm.
Alright, well, yeah.
Hopefully you fixed the audio issue this time.
Yeah, I'll try. My audio in the first episode was just a smidge too quiet, just a smidge.
Right.
But yeah.
Hey, do me a favor, turn me down a little bit, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you bothered by the volume of your own voice?
Yes.
Mm. Oh my
Immensely.
god. Fucking A. Yeah, so this is going to come out on Wednesday. Wednesdays are going to be the nonstop debate days. And I'm planning, maybe in between every couple of episodes, we'll do an episode of nonstop debate that's not so much about Danganronpa. Like, I don't know, maybe in between each case. So, like, maybe after Leon, we'll... I don't know, maybe either after Leon or after Togami, maybe we'll do an episode where we, like, talk about something, like, less Danganronpa-y. Like, maybe we'll talk about, like, video game news, or... I think doing an episode covering some, like, Fanganronpas that fans have made, I think that would be kind of fun, because I like looking at all the, like, characters that people come up with in their trailers and, like, ultimate talent ideas.
I have an idea. Why don't we talk about after we talk about Leon, why don't we talk about the PS5?
Oh, yeah, we could talk about that. Talk about all the, like, new releases and stuff. That just happened the day that we're recording this, so a lot of it's probably going to be covered already. No one's going to give a shit about what we think, but, you know, I kind of want to do some episodes of Non-Stop Debate that are not solely Danganronpa for the people who want to listen to them, because, you know, you shouldn't be listening to these if you haven't played the game, unless you never plan on playing it and you don't give a shit, which is fine. But, yeah.
All right, and then wait 5 years and be like, oh, look at this. I remember someone talking about this before. Hint, hint, looking at you, Dylan. Hint, hint.
So, yeah, this'll come out on Wednesday. Leon's gonna be next week. Friday should be a Turok video from Jer. So,
I bet.
Enjoy that.
Busy as fuck at work.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll hopefully be a Turok video from Jer. We'll see. I don't have anything in the backlog that I could upload and substitute just in case. So, yeah.
Right.
And I know.
Don't worry, it's not gonna take that long.
I know we have some fans out there who said they weren't a fan of the Turok video, but trust me, that was just the first one. They're going to get a lot better, because I want to keep in mind that Jer is playing on the hardest difficulty, and if he dies, it wipes his save file clean. So, you know, you can cheer for his failure if it'll make things more interesting for you.
When we get to the hive, you're going to see the realm of internal suffering and agony on my end.
Yeah, when he gets to certain
That's
points
a
of the
fact.
game, that's when the videos are going to get more interesting. So,
I already got several. Because you were fucking Raptor Senpai, I got a bunch of lewd jokes I gotta make now.
you got to keep up with Raptor Chan, boy.
I know, but thank God they fucking disappear after the River of Souls.
Oh man. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Yeah, let us know what you think. I like the conversation. I'm sorry if we're shitting on your favorite characters, but you know, this is what I think.
Shitting on favorite characters, Leon fans, they don't exist. Who are you talking about?
Oh god.
Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go get blackout drunk.
Same. Bye everybody.
Get the fuck out!